with Community Financial Wellness. We are here today with Nicole Smith from Nickey's Photo Creation. Thank you for being here, Nicole. Really excited about how your business is progressing. Could you tell us why you got started in photography and a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, so I've always liked pictures and cameras and photography. Ever since I was elementary school, probably, my parents would give me a disposable camera and they would have me take it for a vacation, and I would just take pictures outside the window as we drove because it was a 14-hour drive, and my camera would be gone by the time we got to our destination. So I've always had an interest in photography, and from there, my most recent job that I had prior to opening my own business was that I worked for the Chamber of Commerce. So I spent a lot of time helping other business owners kind of figure out how to market themselves and how to grow, that eventually I wanted to try it myself. So I took the knowledge I gained from the Chamber and a lot of the connections I made at the Chamber, which was a big thing, and then I decided to do my own adventure and start my own business.
And how is that going for you? Now, it's been how long since you started?
Been about 9 months. I filed all my first paperwork in beginning of June of last year, which was 2015.
What are some of the challenges that you've faced, Nicole, with starting your own business?
Like any new business, if you're not buying a business that's already existing, you have to start your referral base from square one. So you're branding yourself and your name. So starting out and trying to grow clients that have never heard of you before, I think that's the same issue any new business owner will face. And then beyond that, depending on the market for your business, photography, there's a lot of competitors, so making sure that you market yourself to stand out from your competition. So between those two, just making sure you have a strong, well-branded name for yourself, that when people see your work, they know who it's from. Making sure to do all of that is probably the hardest part, I think, for any new business, is doing that, which will help you grow your referral base.
Okay. So what does make your business unique, Nicole?
I'm unique from my competitors in the fact that I've spent a lot of time doing professional training. I've also built up my equipment and my knowledge base, so I know what type of lighting, what angle of lighting will flatter my client the best. Everyone's a little bit different, so knowing what will flatter them, and for doing all those on-site locations, getting your beauty and the background's beauty all in one shot, making sure that the entire picture from edge to edge is flattering.
Very good. So do you prefer inside or outside?
I can do both. I love doing outdoor photographing. You can turn around a corner and there's a whole new backdrop. There's a whole new posing system you can set up, whether it's a tree or there's the river and you can put their feet in the water. You just have a lot more flexibility versus just having a background. And it just makes for more unique photos. So I can do the same photo shoot or the same location for my photo shoot with different clients and end up with different products every time, between what they think looks nice and what I think looks nice.
That's awesome. It really is, because that creativity really does bring in the unique element from that. What is the most enjoyable part then for you as far as taking photos? What do you enjoy the most?
My favorite part about taking photos is when you show the picture, even if it's before it's been processed, showing the picture to the client and having them feel like they feel beautiful, or if you're a man, feeling very handsome, making them more confident. And for a little side story, my mom is one person that does not like having her picture taken. She never lets me take the pictures, or any pictures. So for the first time, I brought my nice professional equipment over for Thanksgiving this past year, and I snapped a quick picture while she was making Thanksgiving dinner, and she started her normal, "What'd you just do?" I showed her the picture and she really liked it and let me take pictures for the rest of the day, which she normally would not be happy about.
What a compliment from your own mom. That's great. That's really good. So that particular thing, this making something look better than it originally did.
And pulling out making sure there's natural smiles, pulling out people's personality in the photos, because the more comfortable they are, the more you get to see their personality and a little twinkle in their eye when they're laughing. Making sure that just, not that it looks better, but trying to capture what other people see, because everyone's their own worst critic. So trying to capture what everyone else sees, because they don't notice, you know, if you have a little flyaway hair or if you're 2 pounds heavier than you want to be. I capture what people see when they see you versus how you see yourself.
How do you educate your customers on being good subjects?
The biggest thing anyone can do is to educate their customers. So you're a resource, you are credible, you're giving them knowledge that they need to look nice in their photo shoot, or with any business. You need to give them resources so they feel comfortable that you know what you're doing. It makes you more credible, and it shows that you do know what you're doing. So for a photography standpoint, giving them tips on what's more flattering for clothing. It just varies from trade to trade, but for me, that's a big one. If there's newborn photo shoots, all the little tips to make the baby nice and sleepy right before the shoot, or loosening the diaper so there's not weird lines before the shoot.
Wow.
There's
Stuff you'd never think of.
Yeah,
Right.
There's things that you don't take photos every day as a client. That's why you're hiring someone else to do it usually. So making sure that they're prepared and thinking of stuff that you've learned over trial and error yourself.
Are there certain times a day that work better? I'm just kind of curious about
For
that.
photographs?
For photographs?
Yes, it just depends if it's outdoor or indoor. Most of the shoots happen outdoors. If you're looking for a beautiful sunset, because we're Arizona and you can see beautiful sunsets almost every night, it's better to do it right about an hour, hour and a half before the sun goes down. So as the year changes, or as the season changes, that time moves a little bit. Right now it's right around 5 o'clock would be a good time, but an hour before the sun sets.
Okay,
Roughly.
see, that's really good to know. And the early morning shoots, what time is best for that?
About an hour after the sun comes up. You really, anytime you're booking a photo session, if you're doing outdoors, you can do all sorts of things with external lights as well. But if you want nice natural lighting in the background, you want horizontal lighting. So you don't want to do it at high noon when it's right on top of you. It just washes everything out. Not only we can brighten your face up with flash, but the background has the same effect our faces would, where you get the big dark shadows underneath any extra surface. So that's not just you, it's in the background as well. And we can light the subject up much easier than we can the entire landscape behind someone.
See, and this educational component of it is really, really helpful, because I know as somebody who doesn't do this, even as a hobby, I wouldn't know that. So thanks for bringing in your expertise. So where do you see your business next year?
I'd like to see my business double in size, just because I've been open for about 9 months now. I'm definitely in that new beginner standpoint still, so there's a lot more room for growth. And with time, I hope to see double the clients in my second year of business as I had in my first year.
Excellent, excellent. And how are you doing that? How are you growing your business right now?
I use a couple of main marketing strategies online. You can't miss online, because especially with my generation, if you can't find it online, it doesn't exist.
Isn't that the truth? Oh, it really is true, right?
So, and you can grow a lot faster, you can reach a lot more people, because if you're just shaking hands, that's fantastic too, and I'll go into that a little bit, but you have a very limited reach then. If you're online, anyone can access the content you just put out there. It doesn't matter where they live, they can reach your information. So making sure to have a good online presence and online networking. And then in addition to that, being truly a part of the community that you live in. I personally would rather work with a business owner that I've met, shaken their hand, they seem friendly, I enjoyed working with them or talking with them, and then over some random face I see in an ad. Advertising is good, but if you have a low budget, definitely go out there and meet people face to face, attending different events in the community, always having business cards on you, and just being really involved in your own community as well to grow that friendly referral base of, oh, we haven't used her yet, but she seems very professional for those that haven't used me. There's still people referring me. They don't have to be a previous client to know my face, know my business.
So what kind of web presence do you have, Nicole?
Right now, I use multiple social media outlets. The two I use most, though, and I avidly use, are Facebook and Instagram. Those are both very user-friendly. I use Facebook because pretty much everyone under the sun has a Facebook account. And then for those that don't have Facebook, they're usually younger than me, and they only use Instagram because their parents are on Facebook. So those are the two big ones to kind of cover my basis, because most of my clients are in an age where those that are paying for luxury items like photography are on Facebook, but then you still have your prom bookings and your senior photos. So I have to have Instagram for those purposes as well. And then everything I post, I put a link to my website, and I use that as my ultimate sales closing tool. There's a contact form on there for them to reach out to me with any questions they have, or if they're interested in booking a date. So everything leads to my website.
Excellent. Yeah, that's a very good strategy. What else do you do for promoting your business?
I also go to a lot of community functions, because building a strong network of people within the community you live is just as important. It's completely different because you can't hide behind your computer, but you go out there, you meet people, you shake hands, and the nice thing about that is people can then refer you even if they haven't used you before, because if you're the most professional photographer they've met so far, or if you present yourself well and they've seen your work, you have now a bunch of business professionals in the community promoting your business as well based on meeting you.
Where do you see your business next year?
I hope to see my business double in size. I've only been open for about 9 months now. I'm definitely in that beginning stage as I'm growing. So there's a lot more room for growth yet to come. So hopefully by year 2 I've doubled in size with my clients.
Excellent, excellent. Where do you see yourself in 5 years or 10 years?
Eventually, as I keep pursuing my goals, one of my larger goals I have is to be a destination photographer, because I also have a deep down passion for traveling. So if I can do photo shoots and make money and see places all at the same time, that would be perfect. So I'm working my way over time to get to that goal, but it'll be a longer term goal.
Yeah, excellent. What kind of destination shoots are your favorite? Like weddings, but I mean, what kind of thing are you looking at for?
Usually those that book for a destination photographer are booking weddings, because they're spending a lot more if they're hiring an out of state or an out of town photographer to travel to them. So events like that tend to have a larger budget. So weddings are a big thing. If I could do fashion shoots for magazines or clothing brands, that would be amazing as well. I really like working one-on-one with clients and having a smaller group at a time, because you can pull their personality out a little bit more. You're trying to be less of a director of 15 different faces in a family portrait like at a wedding, versus if you have an engagement shoot or a fashion shoot or a maternity session, you really get to work with them more and feel less rushed, or like you're checking everyone over real fast to get all the same photos done within an hour.
Oh, that's fabulous, because you're very personable. And I know you like to get to know your clients a little bit before you do that. So now, as far as preparing them for the shoot, do you find that that's, like a time-consuming event, or is that something that is just easy and natural to do?
It is time-consuming, but it's also fairly natural. Everyone's going to have a lot of questions before the shoot comes around. I easily spend 2 hours with each client before the shoot, when it's for something like an engagement shoot, or where these photos are going everywhere. They want everything to be absolutely perfect. So with shoots like that, I try to have a time to meet with them for coffee first, to hash it out all in person, versus trying to go back and forth with email and having them or me take a couple days to reply, just because we're caught up in our daily lives. So to spend maybe an hour with them and then do follow-up questions afterwards over email. Then they've met me in person as well.
That makes a lot of good sense. Really, and that establishes you as being unique too, that there is that much personal involvement with who you're photographing. I think that's really good. So now this is a point here. I would say, is there something you want to say to promote yourself, or perhaps it would be to give advice to somebody else who would want to start a business in photography?
Well, just in general, starting a business, when you're first getting started, finding the proper resources to help you with the things that you don't know how to do. Because if you're starting a photography business, you need to know everything there is about that part of the business for sure. But beyond that, the initial steps that are almost a one-time deal to get started, finding resources to help you. Or if you're horrible at math, finding a bookkeeper to help you. And I know you helped me a lot when it came to first starting, because you have an expertise, knowledge base in an area I didn't. So working with others around you.
Very good, because that is really true. People who come to me, basically, and they have a business idea, they're usually good at what they do.
Mm-hmm.
For example, you're really good with photography. But now running a business is a whole different element behind that.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about what we worked together to do and how that helped you get going with your business.
I knew nothing when I first started. I didn't know what kind of business I needed to set up. I didn't know what websites or locations I needed to go to fill out paperwork, or how any bit of the process worked. So you really helped me walk through every step of that to get myself going. Everything from basic branding as I established my business name, making sure that there aren't 20 other Nickey's photo creations out there, finding something unique, and then going through the technical aspects of filing the paperwork, and you helped with all of that, which was very nice.
Oh, very good. So we really kind of took you from the point of being a hobby into a credible business entity.
Yes.
Correct? And that's important, because doing something as a hobby is a wonderful thing, but really when you take it from that step and want to upgrade into the next level to become a full-fledged business, it gives you such advantages that people that are just doing it as a hobby don't have. Rather than being a hobby, it puts you in a position of being a credible business. And I don't know if a lot of people know this or not, but the rules of our country are set up to support business owners, not employees, and but people who have businesses really get much more write-offs, and it's better for them all the way around. Not to mention you become more credible in the eyes of your community. So yeah, it's really important, if you're going to have a business, to get it done correctly.
Yes. If you end up doing something wrong, it's going to take you twice as long to fix it. Learn that even back in school doing homework. If you're going to do it, just do it right the first time. And you definitely helped me get going on that path.
Oh, good. I'm really glad. And it isn't difficult, right?
No, you just need guidance from someone who knows what they're doing.
Good. And we are here to help support the small business entrepreneur. That's what our business really is as far as community financial wellness. We really want to educate, but also take people through those steps so they don't have to learn it all the hard way. Why reinvent the wheel when there's already a plan out there? You just need to know what the plan is.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give to somebody else starting their business?
Another good helpful tip I would say is, besides finding resources when you're first getting started, following industry leaders. In my case, there's multiple photographers out there who are doing fantastic, and they provide helpful knowledge base to other people who are in the same spot they used to be.
Right.
So following those that have already proven that they're successful, they've found a good system, trying to learn from those, because you always have more room to learn. So learning from those above you that have already gone through what you've gone through and what they've done to make themselves successful. So following industry leaders, making yourself unique, standing out from your competitors, and just running a very reputable business. If you say you're going to have photos to someone by Tuesday the 12th, have it to them by Tuesday the 12th, hopefully a little sooner.
Excellent. Oh my gosh, it really is key advice, because your reputation as a business owner depends on your word, not just providing a quality product,
Yeah.
but the service element behind that too is
That's
huge.
part of your branding, because I'm really big into marketing.
Mhm.
And if you're branding yourself, it's not just what logo do you have or what social media sites are you on. The other end of that is your work ethic. So people refer you because of multiple things.
Mhm.
You were timely, you provided nice photos, you worked well with them, you answered all their questions. It's not just, branding isn't just putting your logo on an image,
Right.
it's creating an entire atmosphere about your business.
You are wise beyond your years, Nicole. But it is funny, it's something you learned, right, along the way. And having that good work ethic is very important, no doubt about that. Because it is your reputation that goes out. It precedes you. So thank goodness for that. Any last words that you would want to give our audience here? And I'm really proud of the success that you've done. I watched you from being an employee with the Chamber of Commerce into going, no, I need to move beyond that. And so to see you evolve has been really special.
Yeah.
I'm glad we were part of that.
There's one more, I guess, piece of advice. There's so many people out there that have a dream of something they want to do. They have their resources, but the only thing that is holding them back is intimidation if they don't know if they can. Making sure you've done plenty of research, that you know you have a market, that you have some way to make it profitable. If you've done all of that, then what's holding you back? Just try it. Don't get to that point in your life where you're so frustrated with your daily routine, but you're afraid of change, because you never know what's going to happen. It can open a whole nother world out there for you.
That is so true. It is, and that's the key about mentoring, right? Having somebody that has already done that, or you can go to for advice. We don't have to do this alone. And I think that is a big, big misconception about being a business owner. So you've got to wear all the hats and know every single thing, and it really isn't. Build a team around you, and that will ease the pain immensely, right?
Yes.
You've got a nice core group that you work with that will support you and help you to grow. So yeah, getting your mentors in place is very, very important. And thank you for coming to see Community Financial Wellness, and we're honored to be able to help our startup businesses get a firm foundation so that they can follow their dreams. That's what this life is all about, right? Following our dreams, living our passions, and supporting each other. So that's very good. How do people get in touch with you for more information?
The best way is either my Facebook page or my website. I'll do my website to make it easier, because there's always links from my website to Facebook. It's www.Nickeys, Nickeys, photocreations.com. So like Nickey Mouse instead of Mickey.
Oh, that is adorable. Okay, Nicky's photocreations.com.
Yes.
And they can register with you. How do they sign up?
There's a contact form on its own tab where they can reach out to me if there's any questions, or if they would like to book a date for photographs for themselves.
Nicole, thank you so much for being here with us today, and we look forward to seeing your business grow in the future.
Thank you. It was a pleasure being here.
Great, thank you.